your boy Gadget Man 404 here, and today it's talking about the FAA, what is happening to the hobby in America, and I want you guys to have your say on what you think. Do you think, mainly, if you're not aware of what is happening, they have a consultation by the FAA and the closing date is probably, I think it's the end of March this year, obviously. So they haven't got long to do this consultation. Now, the whole thing, from what I'm reading between the lines, it's going to take about 18 months to actually complete. Now I'm just looking down because I'm doing two videos at the same time, so I'm just looking down. Yeah, my camera's already, I'm doing a 4K action cam video of the same thing, and I'm also doing my camcorder view, which is right there, and I've only got one light on and it's looking a lot better than when I have lots of lights on. It looks like the background looks too yellow, so I think this is a better way of doing it. I'm just going to slightly turn that camera around a little bit so I'm more in the middle. So apologies for doing that. So yeah, the FAA have brought this legislation where it's like remote identification. Your drone in 18 months time will need to be able to transmit its whereabouts. Not only does it transmit its whereabouts, like the drone for the air traffic control, but it also records and reports your signal, the pilot, which, when you come to data protection, if people know where we are and somebody wants to have a laugh and they want to rob someone, they've got to know where to look. There's one thing. Now, I watched a video, this Michael Rawlins or something, it's like he interviews channels in America mainly. And let me make sure I'm in shot again. Yeah, I've got my, where is it? I've got my DJI hat on this morning. Bad hair day, so that's why I've got a hat on. So basically what is happening is you've got to have a craft that can transmit its whereabouts. Now there's different categories. So it's going to kill the hobby where people can build their own drone, because you can only build your own drone if you use parts that are recommended by the FAA. So the FAA are going to make deals with companies to provide parts. So you can't go to Banggood and build your own drone, basically, because they have to be all FAA approved parts. Frame, motors, flight control, ESC, cameras, batteries, receivers, transmitters, blah blah blah. So that hobby is pretty much done, because no doubt it's going to cost you a fortune to build your own drone, and if people don't really want to go through all of that hassle, then they're not going to bother. So there's one thing. So you can only build your own drone if you're using FAA approved parts. Then there's the transmission side. There's two sort of transmission ways. There is a receiver and a transmitter on board your drone, which will transmit your signal at any time to aircraft nearby, air traffic control. So if you are drifting into airspace, I'm assuming they can see you and then they can avoid you, or, you know, the thing is, it's not a two-way thing. It's only telling people where we are. It's not showing us where they are until you see a massive plane coming overhead. So why is it we're having to tell people where we are, but they're not having to tell us where they are? Surely it should be a two-way thing. We need to know where they are, they need to know where we are. Do you think that these practices will be brought into England or Great Britain? You know, the CAA, could they follow suit? We've got the registration, we've got the online testing. America have had the registration, they've got to do the online testing. I don't know how if it's going to be a lot easier to do their version than to do our version. I mean, I don't know, because I don't think it actually exists yet. They've got 18 months before these things roll out. Now the thing is, if you just go along with blinkers on and think, I'm not going to bother, I don't care, I'm a flyer, I'm going to fly no matter what, I'm not going to jump through the hoops, I'm not going to do what they want me to do, and I'm going to fly. Then if you have an accident and you aren't compliant with all these rules that will be enforced in 18 months to 2 years, then you're in serious bother. So there's that side of the coin as well. And it's sort of it's a bit of a double-edged sword, because I want to fly, but if you're going to have to source all your parts through FAA approved dealers, you can guarantee it's going to be double, triple what it should be. They're trying to get us out of the air. You know, I mean, I'm saying us, I mean pilots in America. It sounds like they're trying to get pilots out of the air by bringing in all these hoops you've got to jump through. A lot of people are going to fall by the wayside. They're not going to be bothered. They're not going to be the hassle of having to do all of those things. They're just not going to want to do it. So they are going to stop flying, which is great for the FAA, because I think a lot of this is geared at getting the skies clear so they can sell the airspace to all these Uber delivery and FedEx and UPS and Google and Amazon and all those kind of things. I honestly cannot see that working in the UK, having drones delivering parcels of any description. I just can't see it working. For a start, West Hallam, where I live, is on a flight path. So there are big passenger planes flying over. Yeah, they are 30,000 feet. What happens if a drone is flying wherever it's flying and it malfunctions? And I've had drones before and it's just gone 400 feet straight up. Now I set my limit to 400 meters. Something very rare, something happens, and basically you're flying a drone that can go miles. Something happens, everything gets set to the max and you lose control and your drone goes straight up. Yeah, it's not going to go 30,000 feet, but it's going to go a few thousand feet. I've seen drones that people have built go over 1,000 feet or 10,000 feet. You know, there's one guy in Sweden, he takes off from his house and he goes straight up and he's through the clouds, so he's like a mile up or something, and he's like above the cloud level. Then it malfunctions as it's coming down and floats off somewhere and smashes into some trees. Now luckily he was near a park, or unluckily, and luckily for him there was no one in the park, but this drone crashes into some trees. If they're worried about drones bringing planes down, and there isn't many drones flying at the same time in the same area, there could be several deliveries, all different heights, going all over the place, and it only takes one of them to hit another one, hit a car, hit a house. It's a disaster waiting to happen. In my opinion, it's just, you are asking for trouble by doing this. But a lot of this is to get the airspace cleaned up, to get people out of the skies so the FedExes and the Ubers and all that lot can use the airspace. I mean, CEX or CES 2020, it's in Las Vegas at the moment. Hyundai and Uber are getting together to make some bloody great big taxi thing, and it says in the demo video by 2030, that's only 10 years time, they're expecting to be delivering people, driving people, flying people from one destination to another. That isn't very long. 10 years, that isn't very long. And their technology is in the infancy stages. DJI's technology, unless they're going to be providing the navigation software and all that kind of thing, is they've been at the forefront of this technology, and they've been pushing the boundaries and improving the technology for the last 10-15 years, as long as they've been going. And they gradually, each drone that comes out, it gets better and better, and it can do more, and it can fly longer, and it can do this and it can do that. So that is a problem. I personally can see that is a problem. A drone that has only been designed in the last 10 years, and the first time it's going to be taking passengers is in 10 years time. They'll have done a few dummy runs, i.e. dummies in them, and I can't see it. Excuse me, I just cannot see it working. They're big as planes and everything else, and them flying around the skies, that's just an accident. And I mean, in America there's a lot of skyscrapers where there should be no fly zones. Now, if there's a taxi, they need to fly in them no fly zones, because no doubt there's going to be these stations where they land to obviously recharge up and drop off the people and then pick up some more people. So there's massive infrastructure that they've got to build in the next 10 years. I just can't I can't fathom it out. I just don't see it working either way. Guys, give me a thumbs up if you like the video, if you like the sound quality, if you like the lighting. I've only got one light pretty much above me. If I do the main lights and I'll turn them on, see, it makes everything too yellow. It just makes everything too yellow. But then I turn that down, and to me that looks better than having all the lights on. So that's why I've changed the lights. I'll show you guys that Best Dad cup. Can you see that? Yeah, Best Dad. That was of my daughter. I think I got that for my birthday last year actually. So I'm just going to have a drink. Just bear with me, guys. And you can't have a cup of tea without a biscuit, and I'm a dunker, guys. You got a dunk. Very nice. Excuse me for that. Got my Mavic Mini in there, guys. This case was for my action camera, and it had a few foam inserts, and I just cut the foam inserts out, and I'll show you inside. Pretty cool. So all at the top I've got my spare props and spare sticks and the charging lead, and then at the bottom I have my Mavic Mini, my controller and my battery, and they all fit in there nice. I'm just going to give my camera lens a clean, because I think that cup of tea has steamed up my lens. So I'm just adjusting my camera back. There. That's it. So yeah, guys, let me do that one at the top. So, do you think that these laws could be enforced in the UK, and what do you believe can happen? Do you think that these are proposed things, what they're talking about in America? It doesn't mean they're going to happen, but when the government are involved, like Brexit and everything else, it's pretty much that's what's going to happen. So there is no way around it. You can lobby the right people. I always seem to, I don't know why, I always seem to tilt my head, but I don't know I'm doing it. Look, I'm trying to get my head level. It's weird. I've got something wrong with me. I keep tilting my head. But I don't mean to, I don't even know I'm doing it. Maybe I've got a brain tumour or something. Why do I keep tilting my head? Seriously. Stop tilting straight. Right, try and just look at the camera and don't move my head, I'm a robot. I am a robot. Terminate. Terminate. Anyway, that's a bit Doctor Who. So, what do you guys think of the new proposals? Do you think the CAA could actually impose that infrastructure on us in the UK? Because we have the registration, we've got the online test. What is next, guys? Trying to get us out. I mean, I can't see why they want to try and get us out of the sky in a way, because they're losing the money for the registration, but maybe they're not making a lot of money that way. There's going to be more people probably don't register than do, but I want to do it legally. Now, since I've had my Xeno, since the registration thing come out, I haven't even flown it because I haven't registered it, and I'm a bit of a Jess, and I'm like, well, I don't want to break the rules. So I'm not flying it, but I want to fly it because I've got some real cool ideas of doing one flight with one and orbiting with another and vice versa, which I got the idea of another channel. His name escapes me, but you know who you are, Chapo. I can't think of your channel. I don't think you've got a channel, but you've just on drone riders or something. I think you're the admin. You're the administrator, and you did a real cool video over a harbour and did some orbiting with the Xeno over the Mini and the Mini over the Xeno, and it looked spot on. So I'm going to do that around here, but I don't have a harbour near me, just got fields, but still hopefully it's going to look epic. That's what I'm hoping to do. But going back to the conversation that I started with, I don't know how much weight the hobbyists have got against the government, because the government are the government, and if they want to do something, they're going to do it. That is inevitable. You're not more powerful than the government. Any government, all country governments are pretty much the same, aren't they? They're the boss, you do as you're told. That's how it works. But if enough people jump on board the FAA's website and comment and disagree with these proposals, would they indeed listen to the general public? Because the hobbyists are going to be pretty much gone. What they want you to do, this is what they're saying: oh, don't worry, you still get to fly, but you'll have to fly in a field that has some weird stupid name which escapes me, like a freer or something. So there's going to be areas, fields freed up for drone pilots to fly in, and that to me is boring. I don't like flying round a field. I've never ever flown round a field or when I first started and I was practicing just to see what the sticks did and how fast it would move and all that. But now I go from one field way away to go and see something else. So they corral you all up into these areas, right? And you're a member of a club and you're paying for this to happen to you guys, in a way. Your organisations aren't looking out for you guys, I'm afraid, because they're like this, making deals with the FAA to feather their nest, and they don't give a crap about you guys. So you need to do what they're saying. One guy saying leave it till late on to send a submission to the FAA. Other people are saying do it now. I would say rather than do it later, because if they get so many in and it's later and it's too late to read them all, they may just discount them. I think the guy XJet who's saying to do this, I love the channel, guy, and you're full of information, a lot of information, but would they extend it just because they get so many late on? I don't think they will, and I know perhaps that's how you're thinking. Get them in late on oh, we've just had another 20,000 in today, we've got to count them all, and we'll have to extend it by another 2 months. It's going to take us that long to read them all. Or get it in early. Don't lose your temper, guys. Don't start cursing and swearing and telling them that they're all a bunch of dickheads, because that one will get screwed up, chucked in the bin, and it won't get added to the count. So do it in a professional way. Don't show your frustration, and try and be as diplomatic as you can, because at the end of the day, if you piss them off, they will piss you off. And just do it properly. Here's an example. You ring up the doctor's surgery, or you ring up anyone and you start shouting at them down the telephone, they put you on hold or they hang up on you. And that is true. That happens all the time. So whenever I ring anyone up, I'm polite and courteous, and I never lose my temper. I am pleasant, asking a question, take it on board, ask them another question, take it on board. That is the best way to be, guys. You can't rush in. Yeah, it's still filming me, good. You can't rush in and lose your temper, because you lose your temper, then that is it. Game over. They won't take you seriously. You need to be professional, and you need to think about what you're going to write. Just explain how and why you don't think it's a good idea, and write that down. But don't curse and don't swear, because that is not going to get you anywhere, guys. Being polite, yeah, it doesn't always get you somewhere, but being polite is better than cursing and swearing, because at the end of the day, if you curse and swearing, you ain't getting nowhere. They just won't take you seriously. They won't listen to you. So there's that to take into consideration as well. So there's those few things, and basically I'm just going to pause this video because I'm going to move my other camera and see if there's anything else I can do, because it looks like the lens is steaming up on my 4K camera. It hit something, and this was way before drone registration was even thought of. But you know, they would have been able to track me down if drone registration was involved back then, because I would have had a number on the drone. They could have gone onto the website, punched in that number, it had told them where I live, and then they could have come after me, and I could have had to have paid, damages. But because the police were actually on my side and said, no, the person is nowhere near your property, and he wasn't messing around, you can see from the minute it took off, there was some malfunction, because it's on the video. They showed the camera and watched it and showed the people, so they didn't prosecute me. So there's another side of it, you know, having your location and something happens to someone's property, they may think you're coming back for a second go, and they could be completely wrong, but they might think that you're the pilot that crashed into their house or car or whatever when they weren't there. So I don't think it's very safe letting everybody know where you are. Maybe it should only be known to air traffic control and other flyers in the area, like other gliders, planes, helicopter pilots, or even drone pilots might need to know where you are so you don't crash into their drone. But I don't think it's a good idea letting everybody know where you are. I really don't think it's a good idea for that. But you know, who are we? You know, we are no one when it comes to legislation being passed and rules being made and all that. But here's another flip side to it. How about making insurance compulsory? That isn't going to deter people, but then people might feel their mind at ease if they know that if their house or car does get hit by a runaway drone, if you like, or a flyaway, then they can claim against your insurance company and get their property, repaired that way. I mean, there's another thing. They're on about registration, online testing, insurance, make insurance a thing. Maybe that needs to be addressed, making compulsory, you have to be insured. If your drone's over a certain weight, again, I think it should be down to weight. Don't think little toy drones are going to damage anyone's property or even a person, but anything over 250 grams, because they don't just go from 250 to 300, they might go from 250, the next category is something like 700, and the new Xeno 2 is like over 900 grams. That is heavy, and if that hits you, you're going to know about it, and if it hits your car or your property, it's going to damage it. So you want to protect your property and all that kind of thing. So that's it, real guys. Really, even I'm so tired I can't even talk. What do you guys think about the FAA, and do you believe that it could be rolled out in the UK? And where do you stand on it being rolled out in the UK? What do you think about insurance? What do you think about the transmission thing? For some people, the transmission thing won't work, because if you're on a package where it's like an internet-based one, then you don't get cell coverage everywhere. I'm on 3, and it's fine in Derby. It's a good signal, pretty strong in Derby, but round here where I live, it's like nothing to 1 bar. That's why my phone goes flat quite quick, because it's constantly looking for a signal. So the cell coverage one, that's a non-starter for me, and wherever I go, I don't know if I'm going to get cell coverage, because I like to go obscure places. I don't go on the main tracks. I find an abandoned building in the middle of a field near a river, then I'll go there. Like I did on the Alveston Castle. There's a bridge over at the river on the way to Alveston Castle, just outside Otbrook, and I did a flight there with my Xeno. It's not a usual place to fly, but I thought with the river had burst its banks and all that, I thought it was really nice and it made a good video. So I decided to pursue that shot. My friend flew from fields way away. I knew that my range is limited to 1,000 meters with the Xeno, the original, so I know for a fact that I wouldn't go more than 1,100 meters. I might just get up to 1,000. It never goes over 1,000. So, like I say, I've tried to find places where there's no one around, but I can't help, like we were flying there, then we had like 2 or 3 people walking by with dogs, but I was over the river at the time, so if anything goes off, it dunks in the river and then you've lost your drone, but at least no one's going to get hurt. So that's it really, guys. I've rambled long enough. I don't agree personally with the FAA's intentions. I think a lot of it is to get people out of the skies, to leave them free for all these massive companies, because you can imagine the weight that these big companies, this FedEx, UPS, Google, Uber, all that lot, what kind of clout they have, because you can guarantee a lot of these companies, they're on the board of what is going to happen with drones, and obviously they're going to make out that drones are bad just so they can get the airspace for themselves. They're going to have to pay the price for having the airspace all to themselves, but people have been flying, some people have been flying over 50 years, and all of a sudden there's all these sort of restrictions and imposing this and imposing that, and I don't think, if people have been flying for this long and never had any problems, why all of a sudden are they having problems now? And I don't believe all of it. It's like, even blaming on rogue pilots, I think they want the skies for delivery people, but that is just so dangerous, having, you know, drones flying all over you all the time. You know, you could be a few hundred meters away from a drone at any one time when they're dropping stuff off. I just don't see it feasibly working. I can't see how they can build the infrastructure and everything else, and like these drones that carry people, in the next 10 years they reckon they're going to have all these launch stations and stuff all over the world. I just can't see it personally, but maybe I'm being short-sighted and maybe this is the future. What do you guys think? Have your say in the comments below. That's it really, guys. I've been Gadget Man 404. You guys, as always, have been amazing. And keep following me. Subscribe if you've not subscribed already. Give me a thumbs up if you like this video content. Give me a thumbs down if you didn't like it. Give me a comment of, if you didn't like it, why? And if you do like it, again, why do you like it? You know, I want to see where I am in my, like a mini survey for you guys. So if I'm not doing this or I'm not doing that, at least I can try and improve how I am doing things to make it a lot better. But that's it, real guys. Enough rambling. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Subscribe, tick the bell on YouTube. Thumbs up, thumbs down. Honestly, any thumbs is better than no thumbs. And leave your comments, guys. We're a big community, we're a worldwide community, and I have people from Ireland, from America, from Japan, from, where's the furthest? I think Indonesia, the Philippines. I have people messaging me from all Romania, Bulgaria, from all over the world. I've had people dropping me comments, and it's real nice that I think my net is spreading that wide. You know, when I first started this channel, I didn't think I'd get 100 people. 666, yeah, I'm never going to make any money from it, but I don't do it for that. And yeah, just thank you for supporting me since I've been doing it, since I've been a pilot. I appreciate the comments, the negative and the positive. I take it all on board. One guy said, in his opinion, he preferred this style of video commentary. I think he likes my videos, but he likes me talking over them instead of playing music and all the special effects that I do. So I did a video especially for him. His name is MZ2 Red Eye. I don't know if he has a YouTube channel, but check him out if he does. He said, in his opinion, he thinks that my videos are better with me doing commentary. So I've done a few commentary style videos. So big shout out to MZ2 Red Eyes, and I will catch you guys in the next one. I've been Gadget Man 404. As always, you guys have been amazing. Thumbs up, thumbs down, subscribe. Thanks for following me. I'll catch you in the next video. Gadget Man 404 out. And don't forget, cheers guys, and fly safe, yeah? Fly safe, because it only takes one person to do something stupid and we all get painted with the same brush. And I think that is what's going off in America at the moment. But have your say, help them out in America. I don't know if we can register, make out we're an American citizen. I don't know, because then if so, do that, help out the Americans, and then hopefully if it comes out over here, they will do the same thing for you, and they will get on our case and help fight our corner, because I think that's just one country. It's got to roll out over the world. You know, they're not going to just do it in America and that's it. It's going to happen everywhere. So, you know, the registration thing, that was just a starter. Then there's more legislation coming in July from EASA, which is a European agency. Now, by that time in July, we won't be actually in the EU. We're supposed to be leaving by the end of January 2020. So by July 2020, why is it a European governing body is telling us, who aren't even in the EU, how to fly your drone? It's not just Brussels telling us how to do our politics and how big a banana has to be and does it have to be straight and all that kind of jargon. But then they'll be telling us, well, you have to fly your drone like this, your drone has to have that. You're not even in our country and you're telling me how to fly my drone in my own country. Why are you even doing this when you're not even, I'm not part of the EU anymore? That's why we voted for Brexit, to leave, and yet you're still telling us what to do. So there you go, that's another thought. If we're not in the EU, how can they actually uphold and enforce rules for EU countries, and we won't be classed as an EU country? Food for thought, and I'll see you in the next one, guys, as always. And don't forget, fly safe, GadgetMan404, follow me, I'm on Facebook, I'm on Instagram, I think I'm hashtag GadgetMan_404, YouTube, GadgetMan404, Facebook, GadgetMan404. Follow me. Thanks, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.